Good afternoon, Pool Player Nation. Welcome to Las Vegas for continuing coverage of the 2025 U.S. Amateur Championship presented by APA, and our coverage brought to you by our good friends at PoolDog.com. I'm your host, Jason Bowman. I'm joined by Double J, Jeremy Jones. Jeremy, only 3 players remain here at this year's U.S. Amateur Championship. Dean McNaughton out of Ontario has already punched his ticket to the final, and the 2 players we're going to see next are going head-to-head for a chance to square off with Dean in that final today.
Yeah, Dean was awesome in that hot seat match. It's been real high quality overall this week, and I expect the same here in this semifinal.
So let's take a quick look at the format for the U.S. Amateur Championship Open Division. The Open Division is a double elimination tournament up until the championship final. This match is a race to 7. That'll be 5 games of 8-ball and up to 8 games of 9-ball. The winner of the lag here will either choose to take the format, 8-ball or 9-ball, or the break. And our match here this morning is going to feature Roger Hebert of Spring Hill, Florida, who we just saw in the hot seat match. He's taking on the defending champion, James Blackburn of Reidsville, North Carolina. The players are ready to begin. Let's take you down into the pit for the start of this match. Have James on the left, Roger on the right. James just defeated Lance Ireland 7-3. And looks like he has won the lag. He will take the break. Roger has opted to start in the 8-ball set. No big surprise there.
No, very similar to our hot seat, I believe. And very common in most of these matches. I mean, we've probably seen more 9-ball this week selected than I recall in past years.
Yeah,
but,
I would agree.
Yeah, but overall it's still a high percentage of 8-ball to start most of these matches.
Roger's out of Spring Hill, Florida, as we said. Did have a chance to play on this table in the last match, although it was brief, Jeremy. Dean McNaughton was on fire in that hot seat match.
Yeah, I think really when you talk about Roger, he just like one shot back in that match. Yeah. I mean, he really played awesome.
There's not much opportunity. So, let's see.
You know, interesting that James is going to start off breaking from the head of the table more square. He did break second ball in the one match we saw here earlier this week. Didn't make a solid, I believe is all it was. Or 2 solids.
2 solids, yeah.
He's got a pretty good look at a 3-ball.
We had a chance to see James here on the streaming table yesterday. At some point during the day, the defending champ suffered a loss, went to the 1-loss side of the bracket. But he has worked his way back through.
Now you can get on the 6 next, then 2 and 1. I probably try to fall on the 2 first, maybe, just to make sure I get that 1 easily. But really, maybe just the 6 first. No, he's overdrawn here. May get on that 1 ball now. You would think he was trying to get on the 2 ball to get to the 1. Now, if he doesn't mind easing the 6 in, he can play the 2 in the side, then the 1 last. Not sure what kind of angle he has on the 1 to really easily get on another ball. It's a little elevated as well. So a little shy on both balls. Going to be a little thin on the 2, very thin on the 6. So you would think it's going to be the 2 ball next. Yeah, maybe not. So I'm wondering, can he really ease this in and hold? Because the 2 doesn't pass the 8. Yeah, nicely done.
Well, this is interesting. So we talked about James getting knocked to the one-loss side last night. Who did it? Want to take a guess?
Yeah, he's playing?
Roger Hebert.
Well, I wonder about the break. You know, like I said, he broke head on here, and second ball breaks a little more of a grind. And what I mean, you get funny layouts, sometimes layouts that don't offer a run out, so it becomes a safety battle. But I wonder if him getting to the loser's side, he might think, hey, I need to start breaking, running more racks, which is what the head, breaking more from the center offers. We saw that in the hot seat match.
Roger beat James 7-3 last night as James gets an early lead here. Up 1-0 in this race to 7, and he'll have the break when we return in just a moment.
PoolDog.com is the best place to buy billiard supplies. We have a massive selection of pool cues and billiard accessories featuring all of the top brands and styles that will help you take your game to the next level. Our top-rated customer service, same-day shipping, and 60-day satisfaction guarantee that even covers chalk cues means you can buy with confidence. Shop now and see for yourself why PoolDog.com is the pool player's best friend.
Ready to enjoy pool at a whole new level? At PoolDog.com, we know that playing your best is simply more fun. That's why we offer a huge selection of pool cues from all the top brands backed by our 60-day satisfaction guarantee, including chalked cues. Build your ideal cue with custom options like shaft upgrades, precision tips, and more. You'll feel the difference immediately with a stick that's truly an extension of you. Get the performance you need, risk-free. Find your perfect cue at PoolDog.com.
Welcome back to Las Vegas for continuing coverage of the U.S. Amateur Championship. Semi-final match in the Open Division. James Blackburn at the table leading 1-0 in a race to 7.
He got a solid down. Definitely got a couple that, definitely the 2 ball that's a little concerning. The 4-5's not that bad, even though those 3 stripes in the corner really have that covered up. But
I know we talked about this yesterday, but James looks remarkably different than he did a year ago. I was just looking at his championship photo from last year, and I think he said he shed about 70 pounds. You can tell, more muscular.
Yeah.
Just has kind of reinvented himself physically. Great shape. And his pool game is still on point, it appears.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably playing more pool. He's got a tricky little first couple shots. He wants to get on that 2 ball quickly, and you'd say, why don't you just go now to get on it? But it's not easy. Boy, I'd love to get another few inches out of that, though, and then play the 6 to get on to the 2. Because the problem is he's still got to get up table on the 4-5 later in the rack. So that first shot may complicate things kind of moving forward. We'll see. Now, if you remember in the last game, it was the 6 ball that he eased in really well to kind of finish the rack. I wonder if he does the same here to hold on the 2. Little thin. Wonder if he can make this in the side. If he can, that'll help. But again, he still has to be on the 1 ball or the 2 ball, depending on which he shoots first here, to get up for the 4-5. Yeah, I know it looks steep, but I would look at the 2 in the side right now. Close to it, you can be very accurate. I think you can ease it in. It's definitely missable, but yeah, now he's got to let the stroke out a little bit, it looks like. Got to draw and try and dodge some traffic with the 14 and even mainly the 10.
James is out of Reidsville, North Carolina, near Greensboro, right? We looked that up yesterday.
I've probably been there back in the day when we used to travel all over the country playing pool, and the Carolinas was definitely one of the places that most players went. Now he can cut the 4 in, but he's going into the 5, and he really doesn't know where everything's going after that. So the bank shot may offer easier position, but he's going to go for the cut. Oh, the bank on the 5.
Roger Hebert back to the table.
Yeah, and even though you'd say they're open, and again, a position like this supposed to win this game at a high percentage from here, that being Roger. But this first shot's a little tricky. Can't quite draw underneath the 9. You know, if he makes his first shot and gets a little odd, he could have trouble getting out. Well, if he could draw underneath the 9, even if he draws way up table, he's got to have the 14 or the 12 next. Come across, play the 10 as well. He went twice across, and this is what I was talking about. If he gets behind this 9 or a little odd, now the 10's a hair missable. Doesn't really have much of anything else either. 4 balls got him snookered at the 12. That's why that first shot right there, even though it was obviously an easy ball to make, didn't think it was so easy to get, prime position. And now you may consider a safety if you feel like you can get there, because the 10's very missable. You might come off the 10 and kind of bring the cue ball down behind the 11. It's pretty natural. And the key to this is you don't mind giving up the 5. You don't want to, but don't let the cue ball get away where you give up a good 4 ball. I think it's okay. I think that's what he's looking at coming off the 10. Yeah, very good. Smart shot. Now, do you take on the jump shot on the 4? There's always value in that, trying to win the game. But there is another shot that can make things a little odd for Rogers. A little soft kick on the 5 from the side rail. Just trying to leave the cue ball on the top rail, and it's going to leave him a cut on the 10 on the side, but that's not easy. But again, it's hard to argue this. I mean, you could get a little lucky, could fluke it. Wow, he made it, but cue ball got lost, a little too airborne.
I was looking over CompuSport to see how some of our notable players, mostly former champions, fared in this event. Former champion David Rowell finished 97th. Jason Richco, Jacob Watson, and Henry Brote all finished tied for 49th. Brian Parks, Ernesto Bayawa, both finishing in the 13th place. And of course, James Blackburn here has guaranteed himself no worse than third.
Yeah, doing your homework, Jason.
All on CompuSport.
All right, wants to get the 12 out of there quickly. Just draw up the rail by the 11, I think. Don't panic, don't worry. Really, just impossible as long as you get by the 11 to not have a pretty good shot. Yeah, if he can comfortably shoot the 11 and get over for the 14 in the side, whether that be a draw stroke or going forward, it's kind of the shot I like. The 15, it's okay, but it kind of leaves you on the wrong side of the 10. Kind of got to stop your ball. It's not the type of shot you want to roll, make it a hair missable. Looks like he could draw over pretty easily off the 11, though. Play the 14 in the side pocket. Yeah, I wouldn't shoot a missable ball, and you never really think you're going to miss, Jason. You know what I mean? That's how it goes, but you got to be realistic. So I think the 11's the shot. And again, you can follow or draw. Oh, he's playing safe. We saw this in the final of the ladies, where there was the out, right? And that incredible kick shot by Tatum. To end the match.
Tatum Cutting, your new champion in the women's division. 23 years old today. She's celebrating her birthday.
Yeah, she probably started last night at midnight, I would guess.
Went undefeated in the women's division.
Now, again, remember earlier, I talked about the soft kick on the 5. Now, the difference is now you don't have that extra solid on the table, the 4 ball that was in play more. So if you soft kick the 5, yes, you're leaving a difficult shot. But we can already see Rogers willing to play safe. And the 5 will kind of be out of place. So he's going to try and make this. Looks like a 2-rail kick. On the slick table, it's easy to come short and whip this ball. Yeah, I like that.
And ball in hand to Roger here. Roger's saying it's about time I had some luck, some opportunity.
So he got the kind of straight, so he can't go forward for the 14 in the side, so he should hold for the corner. A little straight here, so he's going to get a hair thin on the 11. Shouldn't be a problem.
And Roger takes the second 8-ball rack, ties this match at 1 game apiece. And he'll have the break when we return in just a moment. Welcome back to coverage of the U.S. Amateur Championship here in Las Vegas. Semifinal round coverage. Roger Hebert the second at the table.
Yeah, I was thinking that's the first game he's won in a while on this table.
Since the first rack of the hot seat match, I believe, right?
That's right. Now he's breaking the second ball. Did have a dry break, which is what got the run started.
Another dry break here.
Does he have much of a shot? Can he get at the 7? Oh, he's got the 1 ball. It's a little thin, though. A little like a scratch, maybe, so. Don't think he's got the easiest starter here unless he can get at the 7, but I think the 8's in the way of that shot. I don't know. He's looking at the 12. I don't know if he can make the 12. Looks like he's going to catch the 2 first. Oh, no. He spun it in nicely. And opened the 10. What a shot. So he took care of a big problem, but he's going to have a little issue getting back on this 15 later in the rack. So he's got some work. But he really manufactured that 12 ball, Jason. He had to put a lot of right spin. It wasn't really natural. What their line wasn't there to make the ball without all that spin. Tell you I'd shoot the 9 maybe. I don't know. Have to look, but I might shoot the 9 now and come back for that 15. It's just a real open path coming back across the table. And then however you fall on that 15, a little thin, a little heavy, whatever it is, you got 3 balls, the 14, 13, 11, to play shape on next. You could do it differently, actually. You could shoot, well, it's a little funny, actually. I was going to say you come off the 14 to get on the 15, but this is, I think, the best plan. and you take care of that problem early, which is really important. He's going to get way thin. Wouldn't one of James's best deliveries, but he's still okay. 14 passes the 2, so he can shoot the 13, 11, then the 14 to get on the 15. Now what he's looking at, I think anyways, is shoot the 13 maybe to get 11 to the 15, but I like the 13, 11, and then the 14 to get to the 15. Looks like he just needs to draw back maybe 3 or 4 inches here.
James wanted us to make sure we mentioned his wife, Shannon, as well as Gate City Billiards Club and Shooters Bar and Billiards. Of course, his cue sponsor, J Flowers Cues, as you can see from his jersey.
Yeah, he's got nice here. I mean, he can follow or draw, it looks like. If he draws, it'll be between the 4-5. A little straightish here, so he's got a little bit of an angle, but he may have to shoot the 8 from a little bit of distance. Oh, he took a big chance there. Thought he would just take his distance on the 8 and get the shot. He's such a good player. Be a miracle if he got position really going between those balls, but it looks like it's going to be the jump cue.
Gonna go airborne to try to pocket this 8 in the corner.
Yeah, the adrenaline was going on the last. If you remember, he made it, but the cue ball went off the table. But I think he's just got a sliver of the 1 here to jump over. So the cue ball shouldn't be a problem.
Oh, good looking shot, just narrowly misses. That'll bring Roger back to the table with a lot of solids.
Yeah, you may see a safety here if he feels a little worried about the 2 ball. It's a little thin on the side. The main thing is not missing it so much, but is there a scratch possibility? So you may see a safety here to open. He could roll off the 5, roll off the 2 ball itself. I think James just got to try and kick this in, go off the top rail, call the lower left corner. It's the top right corner on your screen right now, but
and that'll be ball in hand to Roger.
I probably shoot the 6 on the other side and just kind of stop the cue ball. He's going to roll forward. That's fine. Play the 1 in the corner and then get on the 2 and come back down table for these last 4 balls. Yeah, I would have had to go for the kick shot, I think. And a couple reasons why. At that type of kick shot, you may kind of put the 8 over the pocket and cause some problems for Roger.
Looks like a training exercise set up here.
Yeah. You don't want to be running into balls, right? But, I mean, odds are you're going to turn out okay, but you still got to get up table on the 2 ball. So now he's going to shoot the 4 and go into the 3. And, again, percentages are that everything's going to turn out okay. The other thing is when you're going into these balls, don't take your eye off the 4. It's easy to be concerned about that ball you're going into. Yeah, but what if that 3 goes in right there? You know what I mean? Because you don't know exactly, yeah. But still should be okay. He's a little thin on the 3. Can he hold enough to play the 5 and go from the 5 to the 2? I think so.
This is the 3rd rack of the 8-ball set. We'll see 5 before we move into the 9-ball set.
He's going to fall a little straight. Actually held it maybe a bit too much. Now position on the 2 ball, not super easy. I think he's got to draw this. Oh, he's going with a high ball. I don't know if he's going to get there with a high ball. Unless he feels like he can get short side on the 2 ball, but
oh boy.
man, that was all about having to force it. Just didn't gain enough angle on the 5. Now he's a little thin here and a little elevated, but still big favorite, I believe.
James takes the third rack and a 2-1 lead. He'll have the break when we return in just a moment.
Ever wonder how good players can glide around the table pocketing balls? It's not luck or magic, it's cue ball control. Understanding the natural path of the cue ball is the first step to control. Then you'll learn how applying different spin will alter that path to get in position for your next ball. Want to control the cue ball like an expert? Discover this full tutorial, plus bonus drills in our Pool Dog Academy training archive. Dive in and start playing better pool.
Welcome back to continuing coverage of the U.S. Amateur Championship from here in Las Vegas. James Blackburn, the defending champion at the table, leading 2-1 in this race to 7. Dry break brings Roger Hebert back to the table.
And both of them playable. I think the solids, just because of that 9 ball, are a little better, but a few things if you do take the solids, you got to pay attention to getting on the 7 properly off the 2, which could be the case right now.
Started with 123 players in this year's Open Division, down to the final 3.
Yeah, it's going to be the 1 or the 6 here, and you still want to get on that 3 ball. I mean, you could play the. It's not bad to play the 1, the 6-4 early, and then 5 to the 3. 8's a little funny. Okay, he's skewing downward, so he's coming up for the 3 ball now. Caught it thick.
Brings James back to the table.
Yeah, and James got an issue with the 9, but I believe the 12 he's looking at now goes off the 4 to open up the pocket, so 15 goes on the other side. You don't have to shoot the 15 now. In fact, the 15 may be a ball to get on that 12 ball. I'm not sure if it, yeah, see the 15 goes on this side. That's what I would look at. So he's looking at the 10 maybe. He's got the 13 also. Yeah, good control there. So he's going to try and use the 11 to come across and have the 12 to shoot the 12 off the 4 to open up the 9 ball, I believe. Now, he could draw into this ball off the 11, but it's taking a pretty big chance, meaning draw into the 9 and try and open it that way, but the 4's got a lot of that pocket covered up, so I like him coming across and getting the cut on the 12. Yeah, he's going to get a hair thinner than he maybe wanted, but now you can always finish with the 14. So go ahead and shoot the 12 and come up and get on the 15. That way you don't take any chances of kind of getting in between. Because you are a little thin on the 12, so I don't know if you want to ease it. You might get a double kiss on the 4 where it doesn't move. I caught it too thick. That happens quite often when you're trying to play a ball off a ball. Yeah, he's looking for something to shoot at. It's going to be a tough 5 ball, I think. Yeah, I think he's just got to cut the 5 to the lower right corner on your screen right now. Is he looking at a bank? I'm not sure what he's looking at here. All right, now he's looking at the 5 off the 12. And I guess by that shot he's thinking, of course, he can make it. But also something strategic, maybe locking up the pocket because he's rolling it, it looks like. So if he does make it, he may not have position. Now he can shoot the 12 and make the 5. Hoping to maybe cover up the 4. Will leave a shot on the 1 on the side, I believe, but don't really think he has much choice. Yeah, but that's kind of what I was talking about in the last inning, is shooting the 5. I think it was a makeable shot. I think Roger was a favorite to make it, but when you shoot the shot he shot instead, it's almost like which pressure shot you want to come with. You want to shoot the 1 ball, or do you want to shoot that 5 ball? Or even the 6 in the corner is not easy. So, but now he's kind of backed against the wall where he's really got to shoot at one of these. Yeah, good effort, but now I think James will have an opportunity to open the 9. I think he's got to draw into the 9 and kind of clear it that way, knowing he'll have a shot on the 14 or the 15. Don't know if he can play it off the 4 ball to open up a pocket for the 9. Oh, he went right by it. Now he's got to shoot the 15 and try and go into it, or play shape for a bank, but it sits pretty nice to try and go into it off the 15. I don't know if it's enough. The overhead tells me it does go by, but I'll tell you the overhead fools me quite often.
Yeah. Gonna get that extender out. Squeezes the 9 through there.
Sure did. What a shot.
Now a chance to take a 3-1 lead. Pockets the 8 in the corner. James Blackburn up 3-1 in this race to 7, and he will break once again when we return in just a few moments. Welcome back to continuing coverage of the U.S. Amateur Championship here in Las Vegas. James Blackburn now leading 3-1. This race to 7. This will be the final rack of 8 ball before we move into the 9 ball set.
And got a stripe down and the 8.
8 ball drops in the side pocket. James Blackburn very quickly to a 4-1 lead. We're going to take another quick break while we prepare the 9 ball set. We'll be back in just a few moments.
The Westgate Las Vegas Resort and Casino. Legendary. Vegas. Fun. Enjoy Westgate's classic gaming and entertainment. Savor fine dining. And experience the world's largest sportsbook, Westgate Superbook. It's all at the Westgate Las Vegas Resort and Casino.
Ever wonder how good players can glide around the table pocketing balls? It's not luck or magic, it's cue ball control. Understanding the natural path of the cue ball is the first step to control. Then you'll learn how applying different spin will alter that path to get in position for your next ball. Want to control the cue ball like an expert? Discover this full tutorial, plus bonus drills in our Pool Dog Academy training archive. Dive in and start playing better pool.
Ready to enjoy pool at a whole new level? At PoolDog.com, we know that playing your best is simply more fun. That's why we offer a huge selection of pool cues from all the top brands backed by our 60-day satisfaction guarantee, including chalked cues. Build your ideal cue with custom options like shaft upgrades, precision tips, and more. You'll feel the difference immediately with a stick that's truly an extension of you. Get the performance you need, risk-free. Find your perfect cue at PoolDog.com.
PoolDog.com is the best place to buy billiard supplies. We have a massive selection of pool cues and billiard accessories featuring all of the top brands and styles. Shop now and see for yourself why PoolDog.com is the pool player's best friend.
He did it. He did it. Holy smokes, what a shot.
The 2 defeats the 9. David has beaten Goliath.
Westgate Las Vegas Resort and Casino. Legendary. Vegas. Fun. Enjoy Westgate's classic gaming and entertainment. Savor fine dining. And experience the world's largest sportsbook, Westgate Superbook. It's all at the Westgate Las Vegas Resort and Casino.
PoolDog.com is the best place to buy billiard supplies. We have a massive selection of pool cues and billiard accessories featuring all of the top brands and styles. Shop now and see for yourself why PoolDog.com is the pool player's best friend.
Hey, listen, I know that you don't play pool, but my league team is looking for someone tonight who's never played, so you're coming with.
Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
I can't believe it. You did it. We're going to Vegas.
Ever wonder how good players can glide around the table pocketing balls? It's not luck or magic, it's cue ball control. Understanding the natural path of the cue ball is the first step to control.
Well, welcome back to Las Vegas, continuing coverage of the U.S. Amateur Championship. James Blackburn, who leads 4-1 in this race to 7, will have the break. First rack of the 9-ball set.
He's getting the one to come around nicely.
Another productive break for James.
Yeah, and I tell you, if he can get this one down, this may be the toughest shot of the rack for him, depending on what kind of position he draws on the 2, but they're fairly open. A little bit of an awkward shot here, though. It's not one you want to ease in. If you hit it with kind of a high ball going back and forth, you could end up near the 7. So this you want to hit a little below center, back and forth with the cue ball. Okay, he's going to get a little thin on the 2, so that could pose some problems.
If you're wondering about the delay between 8-ball and 9-ball, the players do get a quick break in there in between.
He's looking to come 2 rails tight of the 3, and only thing I could possibly think of, trying to run into the 8. Could run the ball 2 rails past the 4. There is a gap between the 4 and 8, but yeah, he got past the 8 too. That's what you could see him with the body language. Now he's got I think he may have a sliver of the 3, but not really much future, so probably going to kick to the bottom rail. Trying to send the 3 up table. Maybe get the snooker, but at least get the 3 to the top rail. Yeah, I don't think any piece of the 3 is really much future in the shot. I think it's got to be the kick shot, really. Little topping, English maybe. Medium speed. That's pretty light. Yeah, it's going to be hard to get the snooker.
Brings Roger back to the table, now trailing 4-1.
Yeah, similar area or situation he was in the hot seat match, but he really didn't get much time at the table. At least he's here. He's got a chance to cut that lead. Tough little shot here coming out. Easy to pull this ball off the rail a little bit. So what you got to do is almost commit to maybe not getting ideal on the 4. You're certainly not going to cinch the 3, but maybe just take what it gives you. Yeah, I really like that. Just understanding you're going to have to work a little more on the 4 to the 7, but not a big deal. Yeah, very nice out here he's making, especially with the back against the wall.
Nine in the corner, and the first rack of the 9-ball set goes to Roger Hebert. Trails by 2 racks, and he will have the break when we return in just a moment. Welcome back to coverage of the U.S. Amateur Championship in Las Vegas. Roger Hebert II at the table.
Yeah, our first
Nice
look
job,
at Roger's break today in 9-ball, I believe. Don't think we've seen it yet. Now, he's got an easy 1-ball to make, but not easy to draw shape on the 2. If you remember, he had a chance in one of the 9-ball games in the hot seat match. Similar shot that he had to really get into the cue ball. I believe it was the 5, and he missed it. Really the only shot he'd like to have back in that match. It's very limited time at the table. Looks like the 6-8 in the side's okay, but the 1 to the 2 is the real worry. All right, looks like he's going to stun down the table. I like that. All right, really good.
Roger did hand James his only loss of this tournament last night. Defeated him 7-3, knocking him to the one-loss side of the bracket. Roger's only loss coming in the hot seat match to Dean McNaught, who is awaiting the winner of this match to play in the championship final.
And that final is going to be a race to 11 as well. So the players really get to stretch out.
His single elimination at that point. Extended race, like Jeremy said. Scheduled to begin around 1 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern. Obviously all dependent on when we finish up this semifinal match.
Yeah, it's going to be the 6-8 combo here in a moment. He's traveled on a bit far, and he's going to have a little bit of a cut, so holding easy position on the 6 may be a hair tricky. I don't know. He's going to try and push the 6 towards the opposite corner. Not bad. Yeah, pretty smart there. Could have kind of rolled it with spin, which isn't bad either, but if you're not comfortable with that shot, just sacrifice a little distance on the 7. You know you're going to get fairly straight, and the 9's very accessible.
A nice break and run there for Roger Hebert. Pulls within 1 rack of James Blackburn, and he will have the break once again when we return in just a moment.
Ready to enjoy pool at a whole new level? At PoolDog.com, we know that playing your best is simply more fun. That's why we offer a huge selection of pool cues from all the top brands backed by our 60-day satisfaction guarantee, including chalked cues. Build your ideal cue with custom options like shaft upgrades, precision tips, and more. You'll feel the difference immediately with a stick that's truly an extension of you. Get the performance you need, risk-free. Find your perfect cue at PoolDog.com.
PoolDog.com is the best place to buy billiard supplies. We have a massive selection of pool cues and billiard accessories featuring all of the top brands and styles. Shop now and see for yourself why PoolDog.com is the pool player's best friend.
And welcome back to Las Vegas, continuing coverage of the U.S. Amateur Championship. Semi-final round, Roger Hebert the second, 4 racks apiece with James Blackburn, the defending champion. This is a win or go home match here. Much more productive break for Roger in the 9 ball than he had in the 8.
Yeah, for sure. Looked like he was a little upset, but he's got a pretty good shot on the 1. Very natural to come down the table. Probably used both short cushions. Just really got to pocket a pretty nice 1 ball here and track right down the middle of the table. And he's overcut it. It's not going to give up a shot. Not much of one anyways, but does have a look at the 1 ball. Yeah, safety's a little awkward. You could try to come off the right side and somehow get behind the 9, 3, and 2, but and he caught this way thick. He's going to need some help. I think he's going to get it. Yeah, a little fortunate there. And again, when you're not in love with the shot, it's so easy to be indecisive with the stroke, and that's what got James there. So even when you don't like the shot, make sure you try and commit to it as much as possible. He's looking at the 2-rail kick here. I thought maybe he could kick to the short rail behind the 1. Even 2 rails maybe. Yeah, he's going to chip it. Maybe come behind the 6, maybe come behind the 3. He's trying to come behind the 3. That's got to go a little bit. And he caught the 3, so he's going to give up a little more of a look than he wanted. Don't feel like Rogers going to attack on this bank, maybe. The only reason being his position's pretty difficult. So I think you're going to see a similar safety where he cuts the 1 up behind the 5-7 and comes behind the 3 with the cue ball. Well, it looks like he's going off the left side. Nice shot.
Mm-hmm. James with the jump cue now. Referee's going to watch the hit. Quite the safety battle that's ensued here in this rack.
Yeah, I was going to mention the way the ball sat there with the 3-6-9. Didn't make a hit on the 1, even if he didn't make it. Good chance doesn't really sell out the game. Still a lot left in this rack at 4-3. James leading. The 3 ball's pretty tied up, it looks like.
The battle continues.
Yeah, he's going to kick up underneath this off the short rail. Just wants to make sure he doesn't open the 3-6-9. That's a problem. And anytime you're snookered, you kind of want the game to get extended.
right, brings James back to the table.
Yeah, there is a nice shot here to try and be aggressive if he wants. He's got the right side of the cue ball. Could shoot the one and kind of draw it with a lot of right English and go 2 or 3 rails into the 3-6-9. Maybe even get position. Oh, he's got to get on the 2 ball, excuse me. But he could break the balls out. He's going to attack here. Maybe come 2 rails to the center of the table. Well, he did kind of what I was talking about. And everything else was difficult anyways because just the awkward cueing. Yeah, James wanted a bit more control. Yeah, I think he's just got to edge the 3 here. Let the 3 go into the 9, go to the side rail, and then just use good speed to get the snooker with the 9. Don't really see much else. What he's looking at doing, I think, is playing the 3 off the 9. Maybe it goes cross corner of the 3 and draw the cue ball back up to the top rail. I think, anyways. Not bad. Well, it looked like he made that ball. Played it beautifully with the two-way somewhat in mind, and he got that. Oh, what a shot. Three, never touched the rail, just hit it beautifully. It looks like he's thinking he's going to go into the 7, which he is, but I think you just got to put enough stroke on it to kind of push through and get a shot on the 6. I don't think you're going to play safe, anything like that. He's got to be careful of the speed here if he's going into the 7. Doesn't want the 7 to end up on the back rail and or the top rail rather, with no shot. Don't think he can make them both. Maybe. If he did, probably be okay on the 9. Maybe a little thin. Yeah, he's kind of pointing 4 rails. That's a tough proposition. I may shoot the 7 and go into the 9. Shoot the 7 in the upper left. I think trying to go 4 cushions here off the 7, shooting it to the corner by the 9, I think it's very, very difficult. Yeah, big moment in this match. Don't think he can ease it in, maybe, but going 4 rails is tough. Oh, how good he hit it. There's enough speed, though. And just enough. Great shot. He spun it. I thought he would just naturally cut it. It's frustrating. What a great out he made with the jump shot to start.
Say it had been quite the response since we moved to the 9-ball set. After that 8 on the break for James. But James will take that rack in a 5-3 lead. He'll have the break when we return in just a moment.
He did it. He did it. Holy smokes, what a shot.
The 2 defeats the 9. David has beaten Goliath. Welcome back to coverage of the U.S. Amateur Championship in Las Vegas. Defending champion James Blackburn. At the table here with the break, now leading 5-3 in a race to 7. Two balls on the break.
Yeah, it's going to be a push out, though, snookered behind the 2. Sure, somewhere down on this bottom end. You would think more towards the corner where the 4 is. There's options both ways, though, because I don't think the 1 passes the 3, so.
Roger take the shot. Does he give it back?
I don't think he'll attack on the 1-3 combo. I don't think so anyways, but could roll off the right side of the 1. Try and get behind the 3. That's difficult from distance. I kind of feel like he'll end up giving it back. Maybe not. Because certainly nothing's easy, and that's what you're supposed to do on the push out. Can't push out to something that's routine. I wouldn't say anything sits great, so I'd have to probably give it back myself. You could certainly get the snooker, but you have to hit a really sweet one. Not bad, didn't leave anything easy, but definitely left a shot, though. Not so sure James can shoot at it with a tough 2 ball.
Pockets the 1 in the corner.
Yeah, and he doesn't mind banking at him. I don't know if he can cut at this or not and get anywhere to get on the 3, but we've seen James. He's certainly not afraid of a bank shot.
Brings Roger back to the table now.
And it looked like this 2-ball was going to set up easy, but it did anything but that. Not an easy safety. Does have a cross-side bank or a cut up in the corner.
Looks ever increasingly likely that our 1 p.m. championship match will be starting late, of course, because this match must conclude first. About quarter till out here in Las Vegas. Can expect that match to start about 20 minutes after the conclusion of this match. That will be an extended race to 11. Dean McNaughton has already punched his ticket to the championship and awaits the winner of this match.
Yeah, and he punched in one heck of a manner as well.
Pretty impressive.
All right, this is a tough one off the end rail. He's got to get into the cue ball a little bit because there is some angle. And nice shot. Really good. Didn't mind Roger's shot at all. I liked the safety. I mean, it was kind of somewhat natural, just overhit a touch. But the main thing is he still made his opponent come with a shot. Just James buried it. On a slick table every now and again, it's easy to hit this a little thick because he will be applying some side spin.
Well, if he can pocket this 9-ball, that'll put him on the hill, one rack away from a chance at defending that title in the championship. James Blackburn now leads 6-3 in this race to 7. And we'll see if he can finish it up with the break in just a few moments.
Westgate Las Vegas Resort and Casino. Legendary. Vegas. Fun. Enjoy Westgate's classic gaming and entertainment. Savor fine dining. And experience the world's largest sportsbook, Westgate Superbook. It's all at the Westgate Las Vegas Resort and Casino.
Welcome back to continuing coverage of the U.S. Amateur Championship from Las Vegas. Defending champion James Blackburn at the table here. Leading 6-3, one rack away from victory and punching his ticket to the championship round. He's had a very effective break throughout this match.
Yeah, playing with a little less speed than we've seen from some others, though, but trying to produce that shot on the one. He's got one. It's thin, but does play, I think, and the two's fairly open. Got to make a nice one on the one and somehow get position on that two, but there's some safeties here. But you know he wants to shoot. Great shot to ease that ball in. Now the 4 doesn't pass the 6, so getting the position he wants on the 3 is pretty important to get what he wants on the 4. What he's looking at now is about all he has. Just ease this in somewhat, get off the rail a little bit, fall somewhat straight or just a hair off to where you can get over to the short side on the 4. He came all the way over, so not sure what the plan is now. There's a lot of traffic to try and get cue ball. A lot of traffic to get in between to get on that 4. Now can he go one rail, just kind of at the 4? Maybe he falls underneath it. Plays the 4 on the side or in the corner by the 5. I think that's all you got. And you can always evaluate. If you don't like it, you can play a safety.
Blackburn plays it safe. We'll see if Roger can answer here. Yeah, a little lighter than he wanted. I'm not sure, but the 6 may be playable here with some left spin. I think it's makeable. You kind of got to ease it to hold position on the 4 and to make the 6, to be fair, but
Definitely shootable. Again, you can let the 4 bank up a little bit after pocketing the 6 for the side, maybe. Oh, he played it hard. That made it very missable. You had to play that easy. Got a big-time roll, though.
It sure did. Roger, all he can do is just kind of say, man, doesn't get any easier. Let's see. Dean McNaught is back in the room, getting some practice in, getting ready for that championship match. Awaiting the winner here.
Yeah, it felt like if he went to the jump cue, he may not try and make it. Just try and hit it and bang the 4 around, get the snooker with the 6 and 8. Wow. Another incredible jump. Just made it look easy.
And a huge moment in the match.
Just like the
On
3
brink
ball.
of elimination, making that shot.
Yeah, I was going to say, just like the 3 ball he made earlier when and I think it was 4-2 in the match. Maybe 4-1 even. I don't know if he can really afford to shoot at this. Is it a scratch off the 5 in the other corner? Can he get position? He's going to try and bank the 5-2 rails and use the 6-8 to cover up the 5 as he keeps the cue ball here on the bottom rail. He's got to slow down a little bit. It's always a tough shot to control the speed of the object ball going, when it's going such a distance as well. Really unfortunate not to get a little easier shot after what a great jump shot on the 4.
The stars have just not aligned for Roger today, it seems like.
Yeah, he's really shown me a lot in this match. Really solid player. Okay, a little odd here. Sometimes you want to cheat this and you could bobble it, so I think you got to realize you're probably going to have to make a nice little shot on the 6. Now does he have to level out right here and roll this in? Got it down. Very difficult shot under the circumstances. Now I'll probably use 2 cushions coming across for the 9 in the lower right corner.
Down to the 9 ball. Well, there you have it, folks. James Blackburn, the defending champion. Jeremy's got a chance to defend that crown in the championship match against Dean McNaughton, thanks to that victory there over Roger. Great match, 7-3 finish there. We will have the championship match here in about 20 minutes. Make sure you come back and join us for that one.